Rolf that we have here with us. So we've just got a few devices going, and give us a second to kick this all off perfectly. Here we go. I think it's all working. Is that right? Does it look like it's working to you?
It looks like it's all working.
Beautiful. So give me 1 second. Got this here.
Have a sip of coffee in the meantime.
Yeah, go for it.
How's my hair look? Okay.
Beautiful as always. So welcome. Hopefully everyone can see us, and welcome to another, I guess, episode or edition of the Gifts of Healy and everything that we bring to people in the Quantum Success Network group around just everything to do with energy, frequency, vibrations, and all that really, really cool stuff. And how that allows you to sort of take stock and take control of your own life and situation with a lot of cameras looking at us.
Yeah,
this is Krista's husband. He is a powerhouse just like she is. So if you haven't met him before, you need to meet him. You need to have him within your circle of friends, because what was the saying, Emma? You are the average of those 5 people around you, or something to that effect. Anyone else?
Good.
Does that work out?
Sounds good.
And everyone that's been on this journey with us will understand, and let us know if you can't hear us, will understand the journey that we've had and the awakening that we're hoping that we are providing everyone who's been watching. We've had 2 conversations with Krista to this point where we sort of explained and articulated her understanding and knowledge to the best of her ability. And our ability to sort of comprehend a lot of that. And further to that, we had a chat on Sunday, which we sort of took that a bit further and looked at what your body's telling you and how simple it is when you have the skill sets that Krista does to help understand the messages that your body is telling you. And this guy here will take it even further to the next level. I'm really nervous because this is a surprise. A surprise as in, I'm not too sure what he's going to tell us. None of us here are aware of what's going to happen. Give us a thumbs up if you're a fan of surprises. Let us know. I'm running calm and relax programs that I've got right now. How else do you help your body keep calm and zen and meditate? Sometimes we need to hear these messages, and sometimes we have people around us to help us remind us of this. And I think that's a really good time to sit and listen and tune into everything around you. At the same time, we've got to eat, breathe, sleep, something else with S, and then repeat. Put in the missing word below. So, Rolf, we may as well kick off. I know we've got a few people watching on the various devices. How would you explain life?
Life is what happens now, here and now. That's the only place, the only thing that will always be known by you. And the title of this talk today was Live a Life of Purpose and Presence. So let's put another word to that. I call it passion. Purpose, presence, and passion, or compassion. And during the last few months, I have put together what I call a map for the Great Awakening. Now, we all know and we all feel that there is something not quite right at the moment. This whole global situation of chaos and confusion, and we don't know where we're going and how did we end up here. And I think you all can relate to that, right? To some extent. Now, luckily, we have the Healy arriving in this present time, and I believe it came for a reason, because it can really assist us in getting to understand ourselves better and really tap into this field of, how can I live a more peaceful and happy life, even amongst all this chaos. And I call myself a conscious living coach, and I help people to live a life of purpose and presence and passion. Now, what does it mean? I ask questions. I like the term self-inquiry. And the first question I always ask, what is the nature of reality? And why are you here? That's a deep question you can explore. You can even go down the rabbit hole, Depends on which pill you want to take, the blue or the red pill. It's your choice. And that leads us to the question to explore, why am I here? What is my individual purpose? What is my overall purpose?
If I can pause you right there, when you mentioned the blue and red pill in a sentence, can you give some people a high-level overview of what that sort of means?
Yeah.
And it'll help cement the idea in my head. I'm across it, but any more information would be good.
Good, thank you. Yeah. I don't know if probably most people are aware of the movie The Matrix. There was a trilogy, the first one, the second and third one, The Matrix. And in the movie it came up with the idea that we live in a computerized sort of reality. And there were two main characters, Neo and Morpheus. And, and he asked Neo a few questions, exactly like, do you know what reality is? Do you know that you're here for a reason? What is your purpose? And he also said most people have this idea or this deep-seated feeling that something is not right. Something is not, and it's bothering you or bothering us or bothering me like a splinter in your head, he said. And then he said, well, but it's up to you to explore what that means, to live your purpose and to wake up. And I'll come to that maybe later, what that means to wake up, or the Great Awakening. And he asked, well, you can stay, and he said in the movie, you can stay asleep and choose the blue pill, and nothing changes. Everything continues the way it is. And it's okay. You can choose whatever you want. Or it's metaphorically speaking, here's the red pill. If you take the red pill, I'll take you down the rabbit hole. I'll walk with you like a friend or companion down the road of self-discovery and self-inquiry. And then you find out what the nature of this reality really is. It's deep, it's mysterious, it's almost unexpected. You don't know what's at the other end. So, blue pill, everything stays the same. Red pill, you go down a path of self-discovery and find out who you are and why you're here. Purpose and presence. So, and when I talk about purpose, what is my individual purpose? Well, first of all, I can find out, and I'm using a system called the Gene Keys, which is a modern version of the old I Ching. 64 hexagrams related to 64 codons in our DNA, 64-bit computer, it's all related. So we're running a sort of a software within our DNA. And I was quite happy.
I just had a light bulb moment, sorry to interrupt. Someone else was talking in the last 24 hours because everything goes over my head. Someone else mentioned I Ching. Who was it? Who was I talking to that wanted more information? It just occurred to me right now. There was someone I've been talking to in the last 24 hours who asked about it. And I'm like, let's find out. Lo and behold, there we go. Sorry to interrupt.
So the I Ching is called the old Chinese wisdom, 3,000-year-old Chinese wisdom. It's called the Book of Changes. And it is based on a binary code. It's based on, you probably heard the term yin and yang, male, female, left, right, you know, the world of polarities or duality. So, and you can describe that as in male, female, yin, yang, or there's a broken line and an unbroken line. Computer language, the 1 and a 0. Yeah, it's all related. And in the I Ching, there are 64 ways to combine a broken and an unbroken line. So energy flowing, energy not flowing, a 1 and a 0. And that opens even further levels down. So it's like, yeah, it's like an ancient wisdom, but the I Ching, Richard Rudd is the founder of the Gene Keys, which I'm a Gene Keys ambassador as well. I promote this transmission, this knowledge around the world. I'm a global ambassador for the Gene Keys, and it's a fantastic tool to dive into your own, what's called reactive patterns or shadow aspects. And finding out your own individual shadow aspects, which are activated at conception as a script in your DNA. If you know what they are, you can be mindful and you can ask yourself, okay, what is the gift in this? And you can find out your pure creative potential. And then you can live your purpose, if you know what that is. And that leads to finally what's called the divine aspect, or the true essence. You can be free. So we're all striving towards freedom. But what is blocking us? What is blocking us is what I called our reactive patterns or shadow aspects. And if we feel we are not free and we swallow the blue pill, that is blocking us to unlock our true potential, and we are stuck in what I called victimhood. Do you know anyone who's stuck in victimhood?
Look around you.
Look around you.
Listen to the conversations you have with those people around you. I'm still stuck with the bit where you talked about binary counting with the zeros and ones. There's a few geeks here that got super excited. As one of the geeks comes to wave hello in front of the camera with all of us here, I just, in the white shirt, come say hello. I'm going to get in trouble again, but that's my life, so I enjoy it. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
This is the geek that can count in zeros and ones. I studied for 3 years, never could.
I
But
love the science. I just heard the science.
and we'll have 2 other people come up soon. I just got to wait for the right timing. And any fruit that hits my face. So I know that Rolf, you've probably got the butterflies in people's stomachs going, which, you know, I can say I'm one of them here. In helping understand this whole purpose sort of aspect, one thing, if I can relate, you know, Rolf's way up here, you can't see it. I'm kind of down here in the understandings around this great information.
No.
One thing that helped me have a light bulb moment, which was like the brick in the face, was last week or the week before, when Rolf and Krista did the human design profile, is that the right wording?
Yep.
Of me, which helped explain, if I'm a little crazier than most people like to see or think, that there's a deeper meaning and an understanding and articulation of why we behave in a certain way, why we think in a certain way.
Yeah.
So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, so what we're going to do here is sort of delve into that and stretch it a bit further. So if anyone here is not sure where we're at, that's the journey we're going on. So I thought I'd just give a quick synopsis, if that's good enough for a simplistic understanding of everything. But do ask your questions below, we will get to them. So if I've confused you, which I do that really well to people, do put the comments below and we'll try to help
We'll ask
explain that
later.
too. Yeah, sorry, Rolf.
No, it's okay. So what really stops us from really reaching our potential and live our purpose and to be free? Because that's our essence. We are free, sovereign beings, each and every one of us. We are free. We just don't believe it because we are stuck with the belief, conditioned, collectively, individually, conditioned. We believe that we are powerless, that we are victim of a heartless system. We can't do anything. We are stuck believing that we are wage and debt slaves, and we have to serve and give our energy towards the system. Call it the matrix.
let's reflect over what this year has been from, let's go around the March period. If you now reflect where we are in Australia, very lucky, I like to say, at this point in time, that it is comfortable.
Yeah.
We've had, as he's drinking, I'm going to pretend like I've got a noose around his neck. You may have had that feeling over the last 9 or 10 months.
Yeah.
If you reflect back, would you say it's been an amazing 9 or 10 months? Would you say something different? And what messaging and wording have you hear coming up for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to that and use that. If prior to this year you haven't had any clear messages, let's use this year as the brick in the face.
I like that. I like that analogy, because for me, we had to come to this point in time. We had to. We can't go on like we used to. This mindless consumerism. You know, when you have symptoms, you just pop a pill without really investigating what is that symptom telling me. Yeah? And are we really victims? And what brought us here? How did we get here? And how can we get out? What can we do? So individually and collectively we can investigate. So when I reflect on the past 6 or 7 or 8 months now, I think this is a great opportunity for people to stop, rethink, recalibrate, and really go deep within themselves and find out what's really going on. Do I want to continue and go back to normal? But normal never worked. Otherwise we wouldn't be in this situation right now. Or how else can I continue to live my life from this present moment? What can I give rather than what can I get?
Yeah.
It's a huge shift, a huge shift. And if we investigate the belief in powerlessness and victimhood, if you go really deep and you find how we have been manipulated and lied to on a larger scale, and I don't want to open the box of the Pandora here because I can go really deep. So, but if we get our heads together, if we build communities where we can help each other and really investigate and find and invent new ways, we will have a great, great, great future.
So one way is, I guess, when you go to bed each night, take stock of what your day was like, and take stock of what did you receive from life, from people, from beings, from animals, from plants, and from birds. Take stock of what you gave. Are we in balance? If we're like the yin and yang, or scales, if we're putting scales for each one thing you've taken, load it up here. For each one thing you've received, load it up here. Does that make sense? Take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had that interesting question this morning, you know. This thing is rolled, this thing is not the best, came out of the doctor's. We had sad news at work, you know, obviously brought tears to my face. I sat outside the doctor's office, still doing my normal day job. And someone asked, how's this year been for you? And I have to say, it's been great. Still have an income, and, you know, we take stock, still have an income, have a place to live, have food on the table, we can still breathe. Sometimes in discomfort, but we can still breathe.
Yeah.
I think it's been a fantastic year.
Yeah.
And really listen, because we're coming up to a point where we will have to go blue-red, 0-1. Very, very soon. Have an understanding of when that is and what you're going to do and how ready you're going to be for that.
And if people out there who are suffering, which they are, and I have all understanding and compassion for it, but especially for them, my message is to come to a point and really think, what is your life all about? How can you make it simpler? How many cars do you need? Do I really want to go on and live my life with debt and credit cards? Do I really need the next holiday? See, there are all those questions we can ask ourselves, whether we want to go back to normal, you know, or just really take stock and let's all create a better world. Because there is so much suffering in the world, and maybe I can explain from my point of view where the suffering comes from. Okay, let's step into that.
Yeah.
Because when I said to you, I have a map here I've created for the Great Awakening, and I've put it into 3 columns. One is the pathway of inquiry, one is the pathway of patience, and one is the pathway of kindness. So in all,
That's beautiful. As Rolf is going to take us through those 3 different aspects, streams or whatever we want to call them, I can see a beautiful lady here on one of the devices asking a few great questions, and I invite you to request to join, because when you hear her talk, and hopefully we'll have the speaker loud enough that the other devices will pick it up, it's so soothing. You know who you are, request to join, or put a thumbs up in the comments, and I'll look to facilitate that for you, if you're not busy with clients at the moment as well. But yeah, I won't touch this screen because I'm really good with insta-fails, so I won't touch the screen. Leanne, push request to join if you want to join. But yeah, sorry, Rolf, I interrupted.
No, all good. Yeah. So, how come that people are suffering? And how can we transform our suffering? Well, again, everything is based on beliefs. The belief that I'm a powerless victim, the belief that I'm born into a world as a body-mind, into a pre-existing world, and I was born, I'm going to die, and that's it. It's a belief. But our experience tells us something totally different. It's another rabbit hole we can go down. And what is that suffering based on? Very simple. There are 2 dynamics. It's the belief in separation. We believe that we are fragments, individual fragments, one body and another body, which on the surface and on our perception makes sense, yes, that's true. And with that belief in separation and fragmentation comes that dynamic. There is rejecting and seeking. I don't want what is, but I want what is not. On one hand, I feel vulnerable, so I have to protect my body because I am this body. I have to keep every seeming threat at bay, and it keeps me constantly on edge. And the next thing is we are constantly made believe that you're not good enough, you're not complete, you need this, you need that. Find your happiness in possession, find your happiness in degrees, find your happiness in relationships, and this and that and this. It's always focused, our attention is focused on the outside world rather than in here.
Has anyone had any light bulb moments in just hearing the last few minutes with Rolf? Has Rolf struck a nerve for you? Do you know anyone else who you could gift or give this understanding to? Think through people you know, people you interact with, close family and friends. We will see if the request to join is still here. I will accept this for 2 minutes if we can just have someone ask a quick question. I know this beautiful person. Let's just see, coming on through over here. Let's see. And I will turn up the volume if I can make that happen. Okay. No problems. If there's any others, I will keep an eye on things, so just give me a shout out. Sorry about that. Let's continue.
So this suffering is really based on the belief in separation, which then creates fear, vulnerability, and a sense of lack. Does it make sense? If I think I'm this lonely fragment, I have to protect myself, and I've lost the connection to life, connection to others, and the connection to myself, then of course I'm suffering. That is the basic of our suffering. Rejecting or not wanting what is, the present moment, trying to fight, and wanting what is not, over there, the next holiday, or the next whatever. That's our suffering. That's how we suffer. So how do we get out of it? How can we transform it? What's a spiritual journey? To find really out who you are, and how can you wake up? And I mentioned the keyword before. How can I give? How can I be of service? And by recognizing that the other is myself is the other, we have one common ground, which is not obviously our bodies, but our consciousness, our awareness. Now, if we recognize, there's a saying in the Bible, love your neighbor as yourself, but I interpret that. See your neighbor or see your brother as yourself. If you recognize our commonality, you wouldn't do anything out of to harm anyone, because you would harm yourself, because out there is what's in here. In
So
here
true.
it's what's out there.
So I guess another way of putting it, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just giving it a crack. When you're talking to someone, talk as if you are in their shoes receiving the message, and understand, I guess it's a knowing of yourself and knowing of who you're talking to, so that way you can talk to them as if you were them in their language.
Yeah.
Like another good friend of mine, I always say I just mirror someone. What I see in them is how I talk, and I think, Coral, if you're watching this at any point in time, you're going to have a good chuckle. Hurry up and come to Brisbane, we can have that chuckle together. Sorry. That's one way of, is that one way of putting it as well?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Learn the art of listening, truly listening. You know, most of the time we all listen to someone already preparing the next question and how to respond, you know, but that's not listening. But if you really unconditionally provide the space for someone else to voice their thoughts, their opinions, their feelings, you're open, unconditional, accepting whatever comes, whatever someone wants to share with you. That's how you connect on a deeper level, on a level of the heart and of the gut, not of the mind. There's the fragmentation. The mind creates fragmentation. The heart connects and creates coherence and synchronicities, if you want. So that's how we come together and recognize our shared being, our essence. It's the same. It's one and the same. Religious term, you could call it God. Scientific terms, you call it consciousness. Spiritual terms, you call it awareness. Awareness is the ground of everything, not matter. And I can take you down the rabbit hole and explore that with you, so that you make that your own lived experience.
Wow.
That leads me to the middle pillar, which I call the path of patience, because it takes time and patience to recognize who you truly are. What blocks us to know that I'm a living, knowing presence, that I'm an aware presence, is, again, it's a belief, a deep, deep-seated belief. It's the belief in materialism. We're made to believe that we are born into a pre-existing universe, that we are this body, we have a brain, the brain comes up with some kind of awareness. You know, we live our lives, we have our experiences, and at the end, you know, we die and that's it. Let's go down the rabbit hole for a while. How can we transcend? Because that's also our dilemma. Is that really our experience? And I always use that example. I had a client yesterday and we were talking.
Let me just pause you there. Sorry. So Ralph used the words, let's go down the rabbit hole. Is it fair to say, let's switch that around?
Yeah.
Have we, prior to hearing Ralph, have we been going down a rabbit hole and missing all this information? So we do a flip side.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to say it? Like,
That's actually perfect, because I sometimes use that analogy. Everything in this world is upside down. We have to turn it downside up.
yeah.
Everything is inverted. Everything.
We're going down the rabbit hole if you accept everything around you you've been made to believe in or told or conditioned to.
Yeah.
Let's flip it around.
Yeah.
Do you have your own understanding? Do you have your own abilities to make your own choices?
Yeah. So, and there are two main questions I ask. The first one is, what is the nature of your experience? What is my experience? What is that? And who am I? Who am I really? Am I this body? Am I this mind? Am I part of the world? Or what is my experience really telling me? So, and I had this example yesterday with a client, and she said, I'm angry. All right, and we all can relate to some kind of remarks we make. You know, I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm this or that. I said, really, is that the truth? Well, yes, I'm angry. Is that who you are? What do you mean? Well, let's break it down. How about we re-inform or restructure what you just said? Just be mindful and conscious what you said. Let's break it down. I am. What is I am? Well, I am is presence, is being. Are you present?
Yeah. The words I am, write it down. You'll understand the power of that. I just want to pause because people, you need to sort of have some words that Rolf will say, and if I understand, if I'm getting it, I'll just pause and just ask you to write down I am.
The most powerful word or two words you can say. Everything starts with I am. Now, have you ever stopped and thought about what that means? What is I am? I am means I'm present. I'm here. Are you not? You would say, yes. Okay. So, and then if you break it down, I am, the next one is I am aware. So, are you aware?
I hope so.
Yes.
Yes.
So you pause a moment, and then out of awareness itself, there comes the answer from you. Yes, I am aware. I know. I am knowing presence. I'm here and I'm aware. I know. So, that is our essence. Does it ever change? No. Does it ever come and go? No. So, okay, I am and I'm aware. I'm aware of. Now we're starting already to focus our attention towards something specific. Because I am is open, it's aware, it's eternal, ever present. I'm aware of. Okay, what are you aware of? I'm aware of the experience. You have an experience. Yes. What is that experience? I am aware of the experience, and now you describe it. Feeling, so there's feeling, angry. I am aware of experiencing the feeling of anger. Now it makes sense, doesn't it? Instead of I am angry. No, pause, be conscious, be mindful. What are you really saying? Who are you? Are you anger? No, you can't be anger because does anger come and go? Oh, obviously. You're not angry all the time. If anger goes and there's a different emotion, does a little bit of you disappear or go? No, the I am present, it's always there. So there's a huge difference, and you can use that exercise anytime and every time you make a statement of how you feel, what you think, the pictures in your mind. So experience consists of thought, images, feelings, sensations, and the 5 sense perceptions. That's our experience. There's nothing else. So what do we know of our perception? What do we know of our thoughts? What do we know of our feelings and emotion and sensations? Well, they are known, right? You are aware of your experience of those things. Break it down. So it's known, is aware. And who or what is aware? Well, you call it I, the I. Presence. It's arising in the present moment, the feeling of, or the experience of feeling something, thinking about something. So, who are you? Are you your thoughts? Your images? No, you can't be, because they always change. But you stay. Are you your feelings, your emotions? Are you anger? No, because anger comes and goes. Are you anger? No, can't be, because it comes and goes. So what comes and goes can't be me, because I'm still here. Perception, what do I know of the world? Well, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and sensing, which is known by me, by conscious present awareness. So what is the world made of? Consciousness, not matter. Matter arises in awareness, is known by awareness, and is made up of awareness. There's only awareness. There's nothing else. Could you be aware of anything outside of awareness? It's not possible. Have you ever experienced the disappearing or appearing of awareness? No, no one ever has. At night, when we go to bed, we rehearse every night, and we look forward to it, to go to deep sleep, right? Because it's so refreshing. Because we can let go all those thoughts and images. And
who here has that deep sleep? Who here is happy with their deep sleep? Who here would like some more deep sleep? Anyone in close by can pipe up if they have anything to say on that topic. I know personally there was elements of struggle 1 year ago, and that's when I thought I must do something. I am doing something about that experience that I'm changing. Lo and behold, stuff started to happen.
Because deep sleep is our essence. It pulls us back into our pure essence. Deep sleep is the absence of the mind. It's the absence of thinking, the absence of images, the absence of thoughts, feelings, sensations, perception. There's nothing going on. So you can test it in your own experience for yourself. At night, you go to bed. What's the first thing that disappears? Sight. Seeing. You close your eyes. The world you see is gone. There's no hearing after a little while. You don't hear sounds anymore. There's no taste, no smell, no sensation. And your consciousness sort of lets go. It's not this focused anymore. It widens, it softens. But there's still thoughts and images, which we call the dream state. So we've got the waking state and there's a dream state. In the dream state, there's still thoughts and images. You dream. Or the awareness has the experience of dreaming. And then all of a sudden, thoughts and images, the dream state stops, and you just fall into deep, deep sleep. We look forward to it. You can also compare to death. We are so afraid of death. Death is the absence of thoughts and images and sense perception. What is left? Well, it's something we can't describe, because the mind, our concepts, our rational mind cannot even go there. You have to leave it behind. But the I am, the essence, if it's ever present and endless and timeless, then it stays. So that is the nature. This is who I truly am, compared with deep sleep. There's nothing going on, but it's the essence, where everything arises in, is known by, and made of awareness. So what you are is pure presence. Pure presence. And then pure presence starts to vibrate, vibration, focuses, it crystallizes into an experience. Oh, here's an experience of thinking, imagining, sensing, feeling, and perceiving. And then the world pops up again. So is this really true if we deeply investigate? Are we born into a pre-existing world? Or does the world disappear every night when we go to sleep and fall into deep sleep? The world disappears. No. With the arising of mind within consciousness, there are certain laws and rules, obviously. There are laws and rules. Everything is laws and rules of the mind, which then sort of we interpret of rules of physics and rules of biology and so forth, which is true on that level. And there seems to be a coherence when we wake up. Oh, the world is there, so it must have been there all the time, and he says the world is there, and all those things. But if you deeply, deeply investigate into your own experience, you will find out that you are that which never changes, and that which changes, it's not you, it's an experiencing. It's an experience arising in awareness. So I think it's a worthwhile journey to turn this belief upside down. I am not only my mind and my body. I am ever-present, unlimited awareness. Oh, for me, that changes everything.
Can someone take notes and send this to me when you're taking notes? When I started writing, the table started shaking, the camera started moving. Can you do me a favor and take notes of every word that's just been said, and please send it to me? If I'm happy to, like, we're happy to bring, Rolf's happy to bring this to you. If you're happy to take notes, send that back to us in a two-way exchange. We would be forever grateful. Wow.
So, yes, and I think those questions, what is reality? What is my experience? How can I wake up? How can I be more compassionate and loving? How can I realize that I'm a sovereign spiritual being? Well, we have to go down onto the first level. We have to start somewhere and take stock and say, well, if everything is based on beliefs, let's explore those beliefs, because they keep me trapped. One of the main beliefs I just said before, the belief in victimhood, that I'm a powerless victim of a heartless system. But in the movie, The Matrix, it also says, the Matrix, it's not out there, it's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. It doesn't exist independently of you.
And has anyone ever told you that? You have the power to do it all yourself. A big thank you to one of the geeks here who has saved the day. Sorry. You have the power to do it yourself. What experiences have you been able to resolve for yourself? Can I ask anyone here, please jump in. What have you been able to do that you've been searching for someone else to help you with, that you've then done it yourself? I have an example, but I just want to open it up to anyone here. And anyone else that wants to comment. What have you been searching for, looking up or at, or for other people to help you with, that you've then taken control and have done it yourself? Anyone? Oops.
Maybe I can.
Do we have someone else that wanted to come in and...
She knows the answer.
Of course she knows the answer, that's why we're here. One thing that I could sort of share, while we're all sort of thinking, if you want to listen to my example and that sort of sparks any interest, for 10 years, we talked about a thing where, your heart pumps, the force in which things go around your body was a bit higher than normal, without using a word. So I searched for answers. I was fortunate to have a lot of people around me skilled and trained in that field. I went and then saw people where I paid money to see, and then went and saw people where the government provided facilities that would help me in that journey. And you just keep searching. You take whatever thing that they give you to help balance that aspect. But you know that there's an underlying cause. Go back to the conversation with Krista on Sunday. She nails it. Come back to here. So you do the things that you believe the system that exists today will help you with, to help you manage. You don't want to manage, you want it to go away. I kept searching, stumbled across some sort of cool sessions that a friend put me in touch with. Let's look at property, was the avenue. The vehicle was about self-development. There was one guy that was talking up, that held up a book, not this one, but held up a book, this one's really good too, held up a book, around just putting different stuff in your mouth, choosing what goes in, what doesn't go in, food-wise. I thought, oh yeah, let's give it a go. Why not? 12 weeks later, I went back to those people you pay money to see, and those other people that the government provides. Fortunate here in Australia that we have a really good system where we get that support. And they're like, oh, go away, come back in 40 years. What have you done? Keep doing what you're doing. And that's where I looked elsewhere for years, for a decade. And I thought, nah, I'm going to keep searching. And lo and behold, you know, I'm still testing it, just checking how that's going, and it's still on track. I know what I need to do if it goes off track, and if I go to buffets and go to Sizzler and go to all-you-can-eat beef buffets and all that stuff. But they're the choices we make in life, and that's what we have to live with and readdress if the need arises.
I've got a quick example.
Jump on in. This is Emma. You would have
Can
seen
I
us
fit
last
in?
night. Yes,
Oh,
of
no.
course.
Can you fit in?
Hello. Yes, so I was recently told that I had airy bones, and so I could go down the track of the blue pill, or I've chosen to do the red pill and investigate other modalities and look into it metaphysically, because I know I've got this awesome vessel and I've got the capability to do it myself. That's my example.
Beautiful example too. And it's about taking action no matter where you are on your journey. You don't have to be experiencing this for 10 years. You don't have to be experiencing this for 10 minutes. It's about at what point will you be triggered to take action, I guess, and search for a different pathway.
For me, that is all about also self-responsibility. We have to learn to take responsibility for ourselves. I mean, there can be systems and help and guidance out there. That's all good. I'm not saying don't take someone on board who can help you or guide you in the right direction. But in the end, it's all about self-responsibility. If you want to wake up, it's your responsibility. If you want to be healthy, it's your responsibility. If you want to be happy, it's your responsibility, not someone else. No teacher can teach you. I'm not a teacher, I can't teach you anything. I'm a companion and I'm a guide. I can point you in a few directions, but you have to do it yourself. And the past years, what led us to this confusing times, it's, you know, we all hand it over. You know, the experts, they're not best. The government can fix it. Oh, I get paid, and all those things. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not condemning anything. That was all right for the time being. But we're stepping into the time where we have to be and live who we are, which is this sovereign, self-determined beings who we are. That's how we are free, set ourselves free, to get rid of this noose around our neck. We need to learn to be self-responsible, able to respond from moment to moment, knowing my own being. That is what self-responsibility means. Respond, not react. There's a huge difference. Huge difference. Reacting, that are the reactive patterns or shadow aspects, you know, that triggers, and then the old things are coming on the surface, and you behave and act, and you think and feel again on behalf of outdated patterns. If you want to evolve, if you want to transform your suffering and be free, take responsibility and learn to respond. That includes mindfulness, always creating a gap and a pause and breathe at any given moment and become aware and conscious what is happening and let go of resistance.
Amazing. All I'm thinking is, everyone, if you're the average of the closest 5 people around you, how close do you want him? And you just want to get rid of the other 4 and just have 1. That's what I'll never get rid of the other 4, don't worry.
Thank you,
Far out.
Daniel. It was a long journey for me too, you know. I went through dark times, I went through deep nights of the soul, if you know that expression, losing everything, losing family, children, and the whole thing. And you know, I went through hard and difficult times. But something in me didn't give up. It was asking for question and direction. And then that has led me down the path of experience and inquiry and taking responsibility and all those things, and recalibrating and reinventing my life. And yeah.
Wow. Let's sit with that for a little bit. Because all the 5 voices in my head are really busy and they're just pausing too. So.
That's the first thing I can always, if someone asks you what is the main thing you can give me to change or to do something, pause, connect with your breath, be present, be here, allow what is happening, because it's happening already anyway. You can't change it. If I bump into, it happened a few months ago, bumped into someone's back because someone else was bumping in my back with a car, accident, it happened. This is what is. Okay. Do I like it? No, I don't have to like it. How do I feel? Pissed off? Of course. That's all normal, you know. It doesn't mean you become a saint and you don't have any feelings anymore and everything is just okay and cool. No. You can still say no. If you see someone hurting someone else, you say no. It's not correct. So, love and compassion includes saying no and getting out of harm's way or helping someone. You know, this spiritual concept of, oh, hairy-fairy and everything is fine and the spirit guides will look after me. No, self-responsibility. You are the one. That's what they say in the Matrix. You are the one. You are the one. There's no one else. And we all are the one. There's only one. There's only one consciousness. Seems to be fragmented, and therefore we have the experience of fragmentation, the experience of different fragmented thoughts and feelings and emotions and perceptions. That's the nature of the Matrix. How do we get out? What's the first step? Pause. Breathe. Be aware. Allow and accept what is happening. This is happening. Do I like it? No, you don't have to like it. But you allow. By allowing and accepting, it's the first step where something else can emerge. Deep wisdom within yourself. And that will then bring and open your creative potential. What can I do now to get out of this thing? Listen, become open and aware, look around, listen, what's happening? Oh, Daniel said this and this. Oh, that's interesting, there's a spark in my stomach. I might investigate into this. Healy, for instance. Oh, wow, maybe there is interest, maybe there is something is moving within me towards a curiosity. So responsibility, it's the balance between the rational mind, the heart and the gut. There's our wisdom. Everything needs to work again, together, get rid of the fragmentation, not only the rational mind. Heart, that's where the compassion is, and the deep-seated gut feeling, you know, you see something, that, oh, I don't like it, or, oh, that's interesting. So follow your gut, follow your heart, include the mind.
Wow. Whoa. Thumbs up if you've loved every second now. What we're going to do, because we're just going to, this has been dynamite, and I will do everything I know to wrap this session up, and we might come back for a few minutes in a second round of this. I am conscious of it, so stay on. You'll see the lives come back up again. So I will finish this, let this do its business where it's kept and held, and we'll reconnect and continue this conversation. How does that sound? Look ready. In a couple of minutes, we'll be kicking off part 2, just so we capture all this, and then extension.
A time to breathe.
A time to
to
breathe,
breathe.
to pause, like
To be.
Rolf was saying. Yeah, cool. Is anyone else pausing for a sec to just comprehend?
Love and light.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a couple of seconds, guys. Thank you.
Was it too heavy?
No.
What?
You took me somewhere. I went. It was awesome. Yeah, Daniel letting him talk at the end was incredible. Rolf, that was incredible.